that very much came from my dad. So I tried to be a little more around. My wife, Melinda, deserves all the credit, that our kids have come out so well because she really was around. But I tried to be, that's the one thing I did a bit differently than my dad was more intense vacation time, a little bit more of a direct communication, not through their mother.
How did you reconcile that towards the end about your father's style, and how did you make space for that and accept that?
In that generation, my dad's career was a very big thing. In fact, having all sorts of adults around for events, was connected to his career. And, he did very well. He was a top lawyer in Seattle. So I never resented the idea that my dad was very busy. You had kids early, the man's career is important. Later, my mom also not only is doing volunteer activities, but as people wanted women on boards, because she had the right background, she got a huge number of those opportunities, and she got a little busy herself. I don't think the amount of time is the only key factor there.
Yeah, I'd have to agree. When I was reading it too, I was thinking that, and this was what I found so interesting, Bill, when I was reading Source Code, that even though you have lived such a otherworldly life in so many ways, there were so many relatable moments from a parenting standpoint. And when I was reading it, I was thinking about my father too, who wasn't around a lot when I was younger. He was working. Both my parents had to work. And to the point you just made right now, like my father wasn't there when I was playing rugby, or he wasn't there when I was swimming for my, local club, or he wasn't there on the sidelines cheering. And for me, that really allowed me to become the man I wanted to be. And it allowed me to have more freedom almost, to not feel like there was this heavy expectation. And I've always seen that as a positive thing, because it allowed me to have a broader definition of what it meant to be a man, what it meant to be a son, what it meant to go off and discover something that I was passionate about. And so even seeing you kind of having your mother be the one who was almost, pushing the expectation and what the family should be, but then having a bit of freedom, it was interesting to see how that impacted you, to be able to push back, to be able to, even at one point, like you said in that letter, like parent him almost in his decision. And play that role.